Hello, and welcome back to Charmed Persons. If it is your first time here joining us in Charmed Persons, welcome. We welcome you with open arms. And in fact, we welcome you so much that we have so many different things that you can come back to if you would like us. Like, for example, the Sunday continuing D&D adventure, Campaign 3. And if you're into high school monster melodrama, a week from today, Monster Hearts freshman year, the grand finale before summer break in sophomore year, perhaps later this calendar year. Whoops, I just almost knocked my camera over. Everything's fine. But those are in the future. In the now is Curse of Strahd.
There's not anything else you want to plug, Matt? Might be happening on Monday.
Oh,
Thing we've been working on for weeks.
Rewind. This coming Monday, we have a very special premiere. A new format, a new show, Charmed Persons. A talk show of sorts. Talk to Me, featuring me and Eric. It is going to be a lot of fun. It is going to be a barrel of laughs.
It's talk with me, Matt.
Talk with me. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a barrel of laughs. It is going to be a barrel of information. Join us. I think it's going to be good. Okay. I'm not missing anything else, am I? My birthday was 2 weeks ago. Back to it. Curse of Strahd. Last time, our party of adventurers had been traveling through the stuck in time valley of Barovia, a gothic forested valley at the foot of two mountains of people living in fear, in seclusion, isolation, ruled by a tyrant known as Count Strahd von Serovich. The party had made their way to the far western edge of Barovia, to the town of Kresk, a gated community that is isolated from the rest of the larger cities like Vallaki and Barovia. There in this town of Kresk, you had been wanting to perhaps be reunited with Irina, your former compatriots who had traveled west with a bunch of Vistani. But Irina was not there. It seemed that she had left Kresk a little earlier with Aragal, the uncle of the Vistani girl Arabelle. But Arabelle was here, and you had a brief reunion with her and found shelter in Kresk by the burgomaster Dmitri and his wife Anna, and their, that you found out, recently resurrected teenage son Ilya had died previously and was resurrected by a mysterious figure that resides in the abbey that sits upon a hill overlooking the town of Kresk. You, Gabe, made your way through the town streets and found a man outside of a shrine to the Morning Lord, your former god that you had pledged yourself to as a paladin. You asked him what he believed in, or where his hope lied, in a land where there is no sun, to be worshiping a god known as the Morning Lord. And he seemed still somewhat full of hope, but on his dying days, and you expedited that process by slaying him in the streets in a fit to somehow reclaim yourself as a no longer worshiper of the Morning Lord. You broke your oath and flew to the abbey and met face to face the abbot, angel, a true angel in the all sense of the word, that was sent down here by the Morning Lord. But something happened, and this angel lost his faith, similar to the way you did, Gabe, and began to create homunculus monstrosities, creatures that have various body parts stitched together of animals and people, flesh golems, and it seems as though his goal ultimately was to recreate his long dead wife, stitched together and reinstate her soul in some sort of foul necromancy. He tried to persuade you, Gabe, in his ways, and did persuade you to slay one of the mongrels that was chained up in the courtyard. And as you did, you felt yourself slip away, and the abbot used that moment to attack. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew, with Arabelle and Piddlewick in tow, briefly went to a gathering of people around the dead man in the courtyard of the village of Kresk, found that an angel of death, quotes, had uh, uh, slain this man, and you pieced together that it was Gabe, and went back up to the abbey. You meeting a few of these homunculus yourself before charging into the courtyard to defend Gabe. A bloody battle took place, and in the midst of that battle, a woman reanimated, her flesh stitched together from the magic of the abbot, was called forth, and some sort of eldritch evil erupted from her. A powerful remnant of some ancient evil god or deity is what you would piece together, Petra. And it seemed as though your shard of amber that you had carried was a prison to it, or at least a speck of it in some case. But there was something the abbot did that fully released this creature in the form of a swirling black mass of death. Gabe, you took the Sun Sword, a weapon fated to you from some card readings by Madame Ava, from the abbot, and attacked one of the monstrosities that was come forth from the woman. Meanwhile, Petra captured the remnant of this evil god back inside of the amber shard, and the flesh golem, the piece of this evil god, vanished, and the abbot shriveled and fell to the ground, now lying on your feet, just a seemingly dead human man, no sign of wings, laying face first in the dirt of the courtyard. And we pick up there. You are bloodied and battered. Arabelle and Piddlewick there. You do see Cloven Bellevue, who I will show you. Cloven, good old Cloven, one of the homunculus that was created by the abbot, a small man with two heads, one being a small baby's head with a huge lobster claw, carrying a violin. It seemed to be a creature that was feeding a bunch of these imprisoned experiments, that are now mostly just charred bodies on the ground from a couple of Sal fireballs. But Cloven is there, kind of cowering in the corner. And as you stand there, Gabe, with the sword in your hand, the rest around you, it begins to snow heavily, and the temperature drops 10 degrees. It is now freezing. As you stand amongst the swirling snow, what do you do?
Well, first I'm just gonna lay on hands myself, and I'm just standing
Right.
there.
Heal yourself. Yes, Petra.
What was the weather like before?
Question.
It is, that it is fall, essentially. As you have traveled across, it has become colder and colder. When you had first got up to the Abbey, there were some flurries, but it's as if in this moment it is now winter.
But not so suddenly winter that it was like, oh, we killed the thing that was keeping this space from being a desolate winter hellscape.
That's a good question. Make an insight check.
Okay. Low roll.
Wait, the bad guys? Kill?
It's just a 12.
It's the drop in weather was certainly to your mind unnatural.
Okay.
but maybe not immediately alarming or not tied to anything necessarily that's happened here.
We also have a kind of more pressing thing on Petra's mind, and through this soft falling snow and against cold breeze, walks up towards Gabe. Brother, are you with us?
What do you mean? Of course I'm with you.
I feel something different. I don't see his light coming off of you anymore. And I know you've fallen, but it feels like you've slipped even further somehow.
You wouldn't feel his light on me. I rejected it.
I'm not so arrogant as to think that the path that we once walked together is the only path. But it saddens me that you are no longer on it. You killed that man.
I did.
And after all that, you would wield his sword.
It is my sword. It was destined for me, and I will use it to purge this land of Strahd.
The problem with fighting monsters sometimes the people are worse. And sometimes you become the monster. I've seen it. I saw my mentor fall to it. I want to believe that you could walk this path still, that you want to and have the ability to know who the enemy is here. And I need to know that you're with us. But I do not think you are fit to carry that sword. Not today.
He looks down at the sword in his hand. Petra, you are from this earth, and you chose to follow the Morning Lord. It was a noble choice, one that I understand. I had no choice. I was born of him, his child, and he abandoned me because I was not perfect. Your love for him is understandable. But this blade was meant for those of the Morning Lord. I may reject his light, but I am still of him. I am with you. I have never not been with you. I killed that man because he was sad. Because his life was pain and suffering. I do not regret it. I do not regret attacking this pathetic excuse for a being, and he looks down at the abbot. I do regret, however, listening to him. I regret questioning myself. I know who I am.
I heard the words you spoke to him. That you do seek to liberate yourself from the demands of the higher beings. I do not think, nor do I feel an intent of evil in your heart. But the flippancy with which you have destroyed a person, it does shake me. We have a shared purpose here, and I intend to keep you on that path. We can deal with the wounds that you have dealt. My heart and our friendship later. And Petra turns and starts to walk towards Sal.
I bend down and I search the abbot's body to see if there's anything on it.
The abbot's is wearing simple robes, nothing on it. The sun sword in your hand now is just a gleaming hilt. The blade no longer there. Beautifully crafted, swirling metal fits perfectly in your hand.
Can I activate the blade?
You concentrate and realize that for the first time in your entire life, you are completely alone. The Morning Lord is not here, not even to check in on you. Gone. The Night Mother, who you had a brief encounter with, gone. Any other beings that have, like Beshaba or the abbots, that have tried to give you advice or guidance, they're gone. It is just you. And the sword ignites in your hand, but it's not brilliant sun. Instead, darkness, black necrotic energy. Everything around you becomes bathed in the absence of light, dark.
I think my eyes go wide for a moment. There's a slight inhale. And then like an acceptance as I sheath the blade and put it on my hilt. Actually, no. He's wearing his robes on the ground still.
Mm-hmm.
I take the flame from the sun sword and I ignite his robes in an attempt to burn the body. And then I sheath the blade. And I walk forward to join Petra and Sal and Teddy.
The robes catch easily, and the once proud angelic figure of the abbot, now just a husk of a dead body on the ground, ignites dark flame, and within moments he is ash on the floor. As you walk over, Cloven Bellevue kind of waddles up to you, Gabe, and says, "Master, are you here?" And then the baby head on his shoulder wakes up and begins to cry. And Cloven kind of grabs at your waist, Gabe.
I say, take care of the bodies. Continue to feed yourself and those that remain. I will return someday. Maintain this place.
I thought you were about to kill this dude.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. It's cocked. That's okay. Oh yeah, it's I forgot Paladin's charisma. 21.
Cloven nods, and looks up at you and says, "One second, stay right there." And he kind of like waddles, and the baby crying is like a siren. There's like the Doppler effect as he's running. It's like it's quieter and quieter, and
Absolutely
then disappears inside of where you know like the dining room is, and then comes back out holding this big potion, like large circular potion that's like probably looks like 15 pounds, full of bright red liquid. And he kind of waddles up to you and hands it to you. For you. He doesn't need it anymore. Points down like the ash of the abbot.
I take it. Do I know what it is?
You think this is a potion of superior healing.
Takes three turns to drink.
I nod to him, and then, I take off my holy symbol, for the Morning Lord, and I give it to him. Actually, I put it around his neck. The big one, not the baby one.
When you try to put her on his neck, the baby like tries to like bite at you.
And I just say, when I return, this place better be in top shape.
Yes, master. Bows several times, and then like scuttles off into the back office areas, Absite. Arabelle walks up to you, Sal, as this is happening, and she goes, pretty crazy. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah. Is he cool?
I think about as cool as he's always been.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think he might be a little cooler now, to being honest.
All right. I mean, that's a pretty cool trick with the sword, and you know, I'm just worried because I have seen him kill multiple people now, and
Yeah. Time will tell. I think maybe we should just try to stay on his good side. Maybe not try to look. What did he say? That guy. Try not to look sad. I guess he's after people who look sad.
Oh,
So
really?
everybody's got to be smiles around Gabe.
Okay, dokely. She has this big
And
smile.
I'm old, and he seems to hate old sad people. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Piddlewick.
Arabelle takes a few steps, and you see Piddlewick is trying to smile, but his mouth doesn't work like that. And, like trying to like push his, and then like shrugs.
That's so funny. I get with the rest of the group, and I just say, I'm sorry for endangering all of you.
We can tell the town that the abbot was the angel.
No. I will not hide or lie. I will receive whatever justice they seem necessary.
If that justice calls for your life, you will be of no use to us. And I will not fight these people.
Then I will have my life taken.
You know, Gabe, I've been there, alone in the darkness. And it's scary. Lashing out whatever power you can have. All I'm saying is that there's always a way back.
I think that Gabe like furrows his brow and looks at Sal, because Sal has just like fucking hit the nail on the head. I think that Gabe isn't really expecting that. And he'll just nod.
And I've never been happier.
Yeah, you are a new follower of the Morning Lord. It's kind of a one in, one out today, it feels like.
Yes. Interesting. Arabelle's like, her eyes are darting around.
I don't mean any of you harm. I never would. Everything that I have done is to help you and the people of this place. Or so I thought.
You can atone for this sin later. For now, we need you with us. And we need whatever power is left in that sword to defeat the devil. If you want to come back here and confess yourself to these people and let them have their way with you, you will do so after we slay the vampire.
I nod.
Thank you.
I'm hurting pretty bad.
I put a hand on I put a hand on Sal, and I cast Cure Wounds at a 2nd level, and you get 18 points of health back.
Oh, thank you, Petra.
Piddlewick walks up to you, Petra, and puts his hands out to you. You can see Piddlewick is definitely at full health.
I cast Mending on him.
He seems pleased with that and kind of has a little strut in his step and walks back over to Sal.
Hey, that limp is gone. It's good job. You're having a great day, Piddlewick.
He looks very excited and starts like marching down the road. There's I mean, the inside of this courtyard is a bloodbath of
I was gonna
bodies.
say
I mean, there's
full
like
of fucking bodies.
literally like 60 dead, burnt up bodies. And it's snowing enough that they're already being kind of covered. And as you're kind of standing having this moment, you're all not really dressed that well for this cold and slightly shivering. Um, and the town of Kresk is just down the hill, 20, 30 minutes walk down the hill, winding path. It is right now middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I have found it's always best to murder someone in a blizzard. Snow comes in, at least short term, we can maybe just get out of here. I don't know what we're planning on doing next.
We need to rest.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to find my uncle Arago and
Right.
my sister Arena. Not my real sister, but we're
Mhm.
sisters.
It seems like that might be a good place for us to hold up for the evening,
Yeah.
unless anybody has any objections.
No, I do have an out of character question for Matt. Matt, is this literally like the sun sword? The thing that is in.
Yes.
Okay, cool. D&D Beyond.
I think so. It's
Okay,
I think
cool.
it's called a Sunblade.
Oh, Sunblade. Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, there's a different. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Arabelle says, my uncle Aragal was taking some of the Vistani, and they were going to the Wizard of Wine's winery, and they were
That's
going
right.
to get some wine.
Yes.
I think they said it was like a couple days travel away. So I was thinking we could do that. You don't have to join me. I'll just go by myself. I'm just a little girl.
No, I think we were gonna go there anyways. I think that was
Oh,
on the list.
we,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
we
good.
we have business there.
Gotta see a wizard about wine.
And once again, it feels like a good time to get out of town pretty quickly.
Because of all the dead bodies and whatnot.
Sure would like to leave town in a more peaceful way next time if we could all just aim towards that.
I mean, we can try. Yeah, certainly.
As we
Uh,
walk
can-
back, I
can-
put a hand. I put a hand on Gabe's shoulder and, without asking, cast Cure Wounds. And you get,
Counterspell. Karma's a bitch.
you get 9 points of health back.
I think that if Petra were to look at Gabe, she would see a slight nod and a single tear fall down the left eye.
As you make your way down the kind of winding road from the Abbey, there's really, as you can see here on the map, you're kind of going down this little back and forth path that leads down below into the town of Kresk. The road kind of leads right through Kresk out the doors. You're going to have to go through Kresk to leave regardless, unless you want to hike down treacherous mountainsides that don't have paths. But as you are traveling in this direction, you do see that there is a bit of a commotion in town, even at this late hour. Around the northern area, like up here in the map, if you can see, there is probably 30 or 40, maybe 50 villagers kind of gathered in a circle, some of them carrying lit torches. They're clearly having like some impromptu village meeting, and you can hear even from a little bit of distance above, you can hear people talking and having conversations like in anxious, hurried tones, like something's just happened. But I mean, if you want, you could avoid them and go towards the front gates. You do know that you had a place to stay at the burgomaster's house, Dmitry and Anna Kreskov. Um, but of course, you don't have to stay there.
We were told to not go up to the Abbey. I don't know how these people will.
We should maybe go check what that scuttlebutt's about. Or maybe we can help. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it's dark. Maybe, Teddy, you could sneak up and eavesdrop for us.
You look around and Teddy has already slipped into the shadows.
Convenient.
Master rogue that Teddy is.
Well,
I can stay out of sight.
I think that if we have to tell a story, telling them that the abbot was the one who slew the man, maybe went mad, killed the people up at the top of the hill, and we took him out. He would fit the yes, and he would fit the bill of a fallen angel, as people claim to have seen.
Right, so you head down into the village. You remember that Kresk is a isolated town, and there is trees and forest, and it looks like some sort of reservoir. It seems like they're entirely self-sufficient within the walls of this city. And as you're kind of approach the scuttlebutts of the people in the surrounding areas, you notice that it's people are, hushily talking in anxious tones, and sitting in the middle of it, everyone's standing but seated, with her hands tied behind her back as if like handcuffed, is the burgomaster's wife, Anna Kreskova. And the burgomaster, Dmitry, is kind of standing in front of her, as clearly there's a angry mob like yelling at him and trying to get to her, and he's trying to talk them down, but it's kind of growing a little bit rambunctious.
Can I read his lips to see what he's trying to say?
Yes.
If I can't make out his voice.
You see Sandrine, who is the guard, who is like, it seems as though he is the spokesperson for like the contingent of the town. And you see that Sandrine is saying to Dmitry, "You're too close to this. You cannot be a partial judge. I know you're the burgomaster. You have to let us decide." And Dmitry responds through kind of bleary, teary-eyed. You can make out his voice with your innate observant ability. He responds, "Just we can't have this justice now. Let me talk to her." And you see him turn around, and as he turns around, you cannot see him, but he's speaking to Anna, who is looking down, clearly has been crying, but doesn't even look up to meet her husband's gaze. She's just kind of looking down in shame.
Seems like the burgomaster's wife has done something the town does not like.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Of course.
I kind of liked her. She was nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed fine.
Does it look like it's getting out of hand or violent?
Make a perception check, Petra.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay. It doesn't look like it's getting violent, but these people are clearly really mad at whatever she supposedly did. Like it's pretty much the town versus Dmitry at this point. You also do not see Ilya, their son, around anywhere either. Doesn't seem like it's going to devolve into violence, but they clearly want to enact some sort of judgment.
I was trying to decide if I should try to cast Calm Emotions or not, but it seems like it's still relatively civil.
I'm gonna go walk over there.
Yeah.
Right.
And just talk to somebody like in the back of the crowd, like, "Hey, what's going on over here?"
Yeah. Okay. You get up to the back of the crowd. This one guy looks at you and like double takes. Like, what the fuck are you? And he says, "Yeah, did you hear what Anna did? It's fucked up."
What happened?
Wait, you know what would be a good cliffhanger for this? Getting Michael into the stream.
Yeah, that would be a good cliffhanger.
So
we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
We'll be right back.
We'll be
You
right
wanna know what's
back.
going on?
We'll be right
You wanna know what's going on with this
back.
scuttlebutt? We'll be right back to tell you.
Welcome back, and guess what? Michael's here.
Oh goodness!
Where we left off in the midst of some scuttlebutts, a rowdy group of villagers in the village of Kresk have taken to some sort of mob justice for an act that Anna Kreskova did, who was sitting handcuffed in this chair amongst people. Her husband Dmitri, who it seems is the normal person who enacts this judgment, seems reticent to enact on his own wife. But Teddy, you have slipped into the shadows, so you are kind of nearby. But Sal, as you have asked this man in the back, he says, yeah, one of the sheep pens, you know, we keep our sheep. It's very important to our village that we.
Yeah.
It gives us wool and
I know what sheep. I got sheep. I got it.
Listen, I don't know who you are. I'm just trying to catch you up. Okay,
I mean, I know
don't
what
get on
sheep
my
is.
back. All right. He looks at you and he thinks about not continuing, but then he says, "Listen, she, especially now in winter, someone found her and she had killed 2 of the sheep. Just killed it. She was trying to drag the bodies out of the pen. And look, it's snowing. It's winter. I mean, we've decided as a community that this is an act against the collective good, and we have punishments for that. And I know the burgomaster doesn't want to hear it, but we can't allow things like this to happen."
What kind of punishment is there for killing 2 sheep?
He looks to you and he looks around and he says, "Well, it's normally hanging."
What the fuck? Oh, god damn. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Who are you, by the way?
Sal.
Like,
Salvatore.
who are you? Never
I'm
seen
new in
your-
town. Just rolling
Just-
through.
He looks at you. He goes, "All right.
What was her
Yeah.
name?
My name?
Yeah.
My name is Vern."
That's a pleasure to meet you, Vern. I really appreciate it.
The classic DM response to that question: "My name?"
Me? You talking to me?
I'm Vern. Classic
Buy me some
Vern.
time?
He kind of
Emily-
shakes her.
Emily just said on stream, Vern Jasper?
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. Teddy, can you make a perception check for me?
Absolutely. Ooh, okay. Natural 20 for a total of
Hey.
28.
Wow.
As you are sitting in the shadows with your incredible perception, no one knows where you are as a master stealth. You can see kind of past on the opposite side of this crowd. You can see Sal has sidled up, and Gabe and Petra and Arabelle and Piddlewick. But you do see that Ilya, who is the teenage son of the burgomaster, who you know has
Yes.
recently dead and was revived by the abbot, is kind of sitting in the shadows, hiding just like you, but doesn't seem to notice you, and is just watching intently everything that's happening. And in his hands, you see he is holding the severed off leg of what you would assume to be a sheep and is voraciously eating it
Raw?
raw.
Zombie.
But just kind of eating it and
Sheep zombie.
doesn't know that anyone's watching him and just kind of like staring at this kind of mob justice that is happening for his mom.
Hmm. Okay. Doesn't seem to be actually. I mean, he doesn't seem like he has any sort of antagonistic feelings or anything right now, right?
No, just
Unless you're a sheep.
Well,
yeah. No.
there we go. Okay. I don't know what to do with that information other than gross, but like, cool.
Share it?
As the crowd kind of comes to a little bit of a fever pitch, you see finally Dimitri realizes that he's outnumbered and concedes. And Sandrine kind of steps forward and he says, "Listen, Dimitri, we'll keep her locked up. We can keep her in your house, but we need to make sure she's not going to escape. And tomorrow morning we'll have a trial. That's the best we can ask for. We can't give her a special pardon." And Dimitri, like a little heartbroken, nods, and then you see him, Sal, and now hear him turn to Anna and kneel in front of her and say, "Anna, why did you do this? Please, you can, if you tell me, maybe we can avoid some." And she nods or shakes her head, doesn't say anything, doesn't look into his eyes, does not give him any answer. And Sandrine and one other grab her by the arms and like pick her up and kind of lead her through the streets. And the crowd in like excited murmurs slightly disperses around you. Um, and people are like kind of giving you looks, but are seemingly walking back into the houses. It is now like a midnight or so.
What a weird town. We're gonna hang somebody for killing 2 sheep. It seems wild.
Yes, it feels excessive. I don't feel like we are ones to meddle in these people's lives, but I would like to know the truth of this, and that boy does seem affected, altered in some way. I have a theory, and I'd like to talk to you all about it.
Yeah.
It seems like, and this is just at a glance, that perhaps the boy killed the sheep and she is taking his place in a spot of judgment to protect him.
I was thinking the same thing. We can talk to Dimitri.
Yeah. We were meant to stay with him. I'm sure he will be upset, but we could talk this out with him tonight if we go there.
Any objections?
Nope.
Great.
It's a happy day still.
I was gonna say that's coming from a the little girl who's hanging out with us.
Dimitri walks by you, Sal, and Petra. I don't think, Gabe, you're not sticking close by. Or where are you, Gabe, right now?
No, I stayed by the 3 of them.
Okay. Dimitri walks up and is a little surprised to see you, Sal, and he gives you a genial like half smile, and he says, "Good to see you. It's sorry for my appearance. It's been a hard day.
I think it's fucked up, everything that's happening.
It's true.
Yes, it is. I just wish you would tell me why, but it's not of your business. It is not for you to concern yourself with. This is my burden. And he looks up at the Abbey, and kind of looks down at you, and he says, "Tell me, have you been there tonight? You weren't here earlier. Have you just come back?"
We have a lot that we could catch you up on, and I know you offered us a place to stay. Perhaps we could go and talk, and we could talk about your problems as well.
Burdens are best lifted together.
He nods, like seemingly thankful. And even though he's not really in a position to be thankful, maybe, but he is, and he says, "Yes, I am a man of my word. You can stay in my house tonight. Please, whoever you need or wants, you are welcome." And he starts walking back through town.
I've been able to rejoin the group at this point.
Yep.
Great.
Teddy, you emerge from the shadows.
Saw something really fucked
God.
up. Hello.
Hey, you've just been so quiet. What'd you see?
Oh, that soulless demon child was eating some raw sheep leg. Thought that was a little alarming, but
I wish that was
also
the
not-
strangest thing I've seen today.
I was going to say, actually, I don't think that's in the top 5 strange things that we've seen so far in coming
Oh.
here.
All right,
What's
good
weird
to
is
know.
I keep thinking that this is the most normal town that we've visited so far. It really is. We had a fairly normal, at least a normal first couple of hours.
Well, there's that whole abbey with the 75 homunculi that attacked us.
Well, yes. But
The
again, by comparison,
The patchwork humanoids and
yeah.
the
yes, but
fawn.
no giant demons.
Besides me.
No.
But
Well,
Just
I wouldn't call you giant.
celestials corrupted and hiding out here, and spirits that
Okay,
Seemingly
okay,
made
I
of
get it. I was
pure
just
gold
very
and-
enchanted by the normal couple of hours that we had.
yeah.
it's true.
The Vistani camp was normal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's probably the
Yeah.
most normal place we've been to, yeah.
Wow, this is everyone all right? This is a great day to be alive. Woohoo!
Thank you for carrying the light. It means a lot to me that someone is. Shall we go to the house?
Yeah.
You travel through the streets, and you find yourself in front of the burgomaster house, which is nearby, close to the front gates. A slightly larger house than the rest of the ones around, but not extravagant by any means. Dimitri's there at the door, and he opens and ushers you in to his modest living arrangement. He has some soup that's left over that he's kind of dutifully trying to reheat. He's clearly looking around for Ilya as he's trying to play host, and you can see him a little bit mindless, just busying himself essentially to take his mind off things. But you're all free to sit around at this table. There are some couches and some cots and hammocks kind of off in one of the side rooms that you can all use to sleep in, of course, if you want. He seems to let that open for you. Arabelle sits hungry at the table and starts eating some soup.
Anyone else feel an immense need of a shower?
Oh, yeah. I am covered
Okay. There were different ways to say that.
head to toe.
Yeah, all right. Good for you, Sal. Always appreciate you.
Dimitri comes in. We do have some outdoor showers facilities if you would like. It is rather cold outside, so it might be a unpleasant experience, and I apologize for that. But feel free to use it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have wools and coats? I can perhaps provide you with some for your trip, if you would like.
That would be most appreciated.
Yes.
Seems...
Excellent. He seems grateful to have a task, and he hurries away. You're all kind of sitting at the table. Arabelle looks around, and she says, "I call dibs on the big couch."
Hammock.
Today is your special day, so I'll let you have the big couch.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, every day is a special day for me.
But this day especially good. Little follower.
Thank you. That's nice. This is fun. You're a fun group. This is a great day.
Well, I am going to wash a whole lot of blood off me.
All right. I'll press the digitation myself. I'll clean myself up. Do you want a cold shower, or do you want me to just poof it away?
Listen, your magic is incredible. You're fantastic. Some things I feel just you can't beat good old soap and water.
Of course, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, you can with magic, but yeah, please.
No, okay, that's a... Can you just stop having all these pins in conversations and just have these conversations, Sal? There's a lot that we need to follow up on.
Enjoy your shower.
All right, thank you.
All right, Teddy, you head outside to the shower. As soon as you step outside, it's heavy snow, freezing cold. Maybe you slightly regret your decision to not take.
I'm making this quick.
As you strip down and head to the outdoor shower, you have a view of the front gate, and you can see that the gate begins to open. Large, two probably 15-foot high doors that are a part of the wall that surrounds this town slide open, and you see coming into town are 3 large carts, each one pulled by a single horse. And on the back of each of these carts, you see that each of them has 2 giant kegs, wooden casks that are sat up into the back of these carts. And you see each one of the horses that are drawing these carts has a Vistani man on the back of it. And leading, you see Aragal, who is, I will show you a picture of Aragal. Aragal is Luvash's brother and Arabelle's uncle. This is the man that is led the expedition of the Vistani that Irina and Arabelle were with. And you see them travel into town on these horses, the gate closing behind them, and suddenly there's a little bit of commotion. And suddenly some people around who have just left the kind of mob justice leave their houses and start to gather around as these carts set up in a little bit of a square, town square, a little bit near you. And you see Aragal jump off his horse and with the help of Sandrine and a couple of the other guards start to pull these casks off the back of the wagon. And you can see them giving wine to people. And there's a little bit of a celebration suddenly as these Vistani have delivered wine to this town. The rest of you inside don't quite know this is happening, but Teddy, as being the one outside, can see this happening from your vantage point of the shower.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to wander on over there dong out.
You went out there naked?
Well, I'm naked in the shower.
Okay.
I'm not showering with clothes on. That does beg the question how I'm going to get back inside when it's very cold. Hmm.
There's no free provided towels at this
Yeah.
shower.
Well, great. Okay, I guess I'll just finish up my shower as quickly as possible and just put on like my boxers and then like run it like through the. It's cold outside, so I'm running from place to place. Go back indoors.
Okay, Teddy comes back in with only boxers a couple minutes later.
I miss hot showers. Terry cloth robes. Oh, there's a party happening outside. Arabella, I think your uncle's out there.
Uncle Arago! And you see Arabelle gets up from the table and runs out of the room.
Okay.
And then she runs back in the room and she looks at you, Teddy, and she goes, "Oh." She doesn't come back in. Sal and Petra, as you're sitting at the table, Dimitri comes back with a couple of like furs, hands it to you. And he says, "This is all I've got. Should be one for each of you, but should be enough."
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Anything that you can give. I know that you probably don't want to talk about it, but we should. I know that you said you were wondering why your wife would do something like this. And I do have a theory. I don't mean insult or harm by this, but could it be that it was not your wife, but Ilya, who harmed these sheep, and she is trying to take responsibility to protect him?
But I
It
don't.
would be understandable. Your mother's love to protect her child. I don't blame her. I think it is something that most of us would do.
Why would Ilya do that? He knows that you shouldn't do that too. He's slightly hyperventilating, but he takes this moment to kind of catch his breath, and he says, "Perhaps I need to find Ilya. I need to find Ilya. Okay, please. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps you're right." He sits down at the table to like catch his breath. And he looks to you and he says, "Is the abbot still there? The abbot has helped us with Ilya. Perhaps the abbot knows if this is indeed true."
I do need to speak to you about that as well. You know, you were there. The old man that died in the village. We followed rumors up to the Abbey. I know you told us not to go there, but our investigation led us up there to seek out his killer. And our investigation of that place, the abbot is gone.
And you killed it?
We didn't have a choice.
What does that mean for Ilya? It is the abbot's blessing that brought Ilya back.
I know that he was a worker of great magics and could bring life to that which perhaps had lost it. I know also that your son has been changed since, and I don't know what more the abbot could do, and I don't know what more anyone could do to help him at this point in time. Finding him a safe place to be, someplace where he would be supervised and unable to cause harm to sheep or to any other one, anybody else for that matter. I would like to see if we could perhaps talk the village into altering their judgment on what would happen. It seems like we shouldn't be punishing your wife, and we shouldn't be punishing those who don't have the ability to discern this right from wrong. Perhaps finding a way to just replace the sheep.
He puts his head in his hands. He says, I apologize if I don't feel reciprocative. If I don't feel like, thank you for telling me this. He stands up and he says, I'm going to find Ilya. He must be in town somewhere.
Oh, I just saw him. I'll tell him where I previously saw him. I don't know if this is normal behavior, but he was eating some raw sheep leg.
His reaction tells you immediately that this is not normal behavior.
Okay.
And he nods, the horror dawning on his face, connecting what Petra told him and what you told him. And he exits the house. Parents search in the last place that you saw Ilya, leaving all of you alone in his living room, basically.
Soup's pretty good. It seemed like Sandrine was the town's leader. Maybe if we talk to Sandrine.
We could talk to them. I mean, the trial is tomorrow. Perhaps we go over in the morning, a little bit more prepared. Some of us finding a little bit more peace, and maybe being able to contribute.
I'm sorry, but it seems that the Burgomaster has the information that we've given him. He'll be able to tell everyone what we've told him. What has this to do with us now? Why should we affect the trial of this woman who was willing to delve into dark magic from a corrupted individual? I'm not saying she deserved what's happening to her. All I'm saying is that it's none of our business. We have
Nor
a
is
mission.
any of this, Gabe. Our destiny, as you would say, has put us on a path to rid this place of the devil. Seemingly, it's the reason why all of us are here. While we are here, can we not improve the lives of these people? Not just stumble from town to town, unleashing demons, killing sad men. I don't want to talk about it now. I won't get in the way of you doing what you feel like you need to do. Please do not get in the way of mine. And I get up and I walk out and I go look for Ilya.
All right, Petra leaves the table. Arabelle says, if the burgomaster doesn't come back tonight, I call dibs on his bed.
No, you claim the couch.
Hey, you did already claim the couch, Arabelle.
Not fair.
You can't dibs two
It's
things.
fair. That you got your first choice.
She looks so upset, but doesn't
You
say
can't
anything
double
else.
dib.
It's also a theoretical situation.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, Teddy.
Hmm.
Can I show you something?
What is it?
All right. Follow me.
Okay.
Um,
Hold on. I'll rummage into my bag and pull out like a whatever robe situation I got and just. Okay.
she opens the door, and she says, "First, I need to get you to meet my uncle." And she takes you over to the square.
Oh, Eric, is this a tonight situation? Is this something that needs to happen now?
I mean, it's like a fortune, and it's like, it doesn't have to happen tonight if you don't want to.
I'm sure whatever fortune it will be given to me will be amazing. However, at this point, this is what, my third fortune in a few days.
That's true. You are a bit fortuned out. This one's a little interesting because it's also with me. It's kind of my fortune too. Very exciting. I've never had a fortune.
All right. Let's. We just shouldn't probably leave Gabe and Sal alone together. You know how they get.
Yeah. But they seem like they're happy.
Okay.
I don't know. Between you and me, I think Gabe is has a thing against sad people. So
Well, that would mean he has a thing against himself,
He does.
which is also possible.
That was a good one.
Gabriel is a very complicated man, but he means well. Just have to get past all the brooding.
Yes, that's the part I'm finding difficult. But I think he is a good man, for sure.
Once you get past the brooding, there's a very lovely, strong, firm, supportive presence there.
Excellent. I'll take your word for it. As you're kind of like just outside of the house, you see these Vistani are like handing out bottles of wine to people.
Ooh.
Literally, like, citizens are kind of walking up in like the somber mood of this like trial of Anna Kreskova has made way for like an impromptu midnight wine party. Clearly, these people have not drank wine in a while. It's even if it is the lifeblood. These three Vistani men are like celebrities essentially. But you do see Aragal breaks away from the crowd with 2 bottles of wine in his hand, walks up to Arabelle, gives her like a big hug.
I thought I was supposed to say gives her a bottle of wine. It's like she's 8.
That's the drinking age in Barovia's 8.
Oh, okay.
No, I was kidding. She hugs Arabelle and like swings around, and he looks to you, Teddy, and he says, "Ah, the adventurers that had come from beyond the mists, here with my beautiful niece. It's good to see you. What's your name again? I'm sorry." He holds out a hand to shake.
Hi, Theodore.
Theodore, excellent. Ah, I know. Theodore, that's a strong name. Here, we have some wine from the winery. Perhaps we can go back to the house and we can celebrate all together, you and your party.
Oh, perhaps. Full disclosure, we are probably all about to go to sleep here in about just a couple of minutes. We've had a very long day.
Go to sleep. It is only midnight, my friend.
Yes, yes, that is true, but we are sort of on almost died time, so.
Almost. How about this? 1 glass. I just want to get to know you. You're fascinating people, and you're escorting my dear niece Arabella. I just want to make sure that you're on the up and up. No offense.
My insight. What's insight check? This guy. Is this some
Insight,
kind of
yep.
nefarious? What's going on here? Oh God, I thought I had better insight. 18 though.
He clearly dearly loves his niece Arabelle. She clearly is very fond of him. Uh, he is obviously hiding something in some capacity. Like he's being very careful with his words, but you're not sure like why or for what.
I'm really not sure. The party doesn't. The rest of the group doesn't seem to be terribly social at the moment.
Come on, Teddy. It's my uncle's. You've barely even met him, and he's the coolest guy. Just one drink, please.
Arabelle, this really is not my decision to make. Gabe is going through a lot right now, and Petra, I think, just left to go do something.
Oh,
Petra-ish.
okay. Well, we can ask him. She like storms off past you towards the house.
Okay. Oh, goodness. High spirit. She's a very spirited young woman.
Yes, she is. She's, wise beyond her years, as you've probably noticed. But I guess that's the Vistani way.
Right. Just so this isn't some sort of you asking for. I don't know if I want to. I'm not misreading the situation. You're not trying to hook up with any one of us, are you?
No. It is
Okay.
unbecoming of a Vistani to hook up, as you say.
You haven't
Yeah,
talked to
we're-
your brother recently, have you?
Luvash?
Yes.
Why? What do you know?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
He's gonna make an insight check.
Great.
He's got a +1 to this. He rolls a 4. Oh, excellent, Teddy. Gabe and Sal. Petra has stood up, and Arabelle has led Teddy out of the room, and it's just you two and Piddlewick for a second here, sitting at the table alone.
What's with
How'd
the
it feel,
horns?
Gabe? What's with the horns? I told you. We talked about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, released a demon. And got these.
Why?
Now I made some sort of. I've thought about it. In the moment, it felt like either do that or I take on 12, I don't know, cultists that were surrounding me. I felt powerless. How'd it feel
What?
to take an innocent person's life? You could say it felt good. I know.
Piddlewick leans in.
I know. I know it did for me for a bit.
To be honest,
Please.
I didn't feel anything.
That. I'm assuming that was the first time.
No.
Okay. Well, all right. I guess I didn't really know you.
I'm fallen for a reason.
What happened?
To me in general, or to that man?
How did you fall?
I was sent here by the Morning Lord. I was born here, had parents, but it was the Morning Lord's power that coursed through me from a young age. I was sent here to help purge the material plane of darkness, specifically in the Order of Astrum. Darkness found in people, in corruption, not as easy as the black and white of a monster.
Well, I'm glad me and you didn't cross paths a couple of years ago.
But eventually, I gave in to temptation. I started to enjoy the life that I was surrounded by. I started to take pleasure in the Cardinal. I was done fighting for someone who never gave me a chance to do anything other than that. And while I was in that darkness, that time, I met someone, and I fell in love, and they were killed by a vampire. And I remade my vow, and I swore an oath of vengeance against those who would do such things, vampires, monsters, those in the dark. And I sought redemption through the Morning Lord. And ever since then, I've just been trying with everything in me, and yet all it was darkness. Every time I unfurled my wings, I saw those inky, black, skeletal, horrific things. I prayed for light, for redemption, but it never came. I had just become a tool again, a weapon for him to use. And then I came here, and I met all of you, and I met another person who I loved. And I thought that my time had finally come, that I had finally met my destiny, that I had finally paid my dues. But I was wrong, Salvatore. This place is a punishment. This place flaunts everything I've ever wanted in my face, but makes sure I know that it'll always remain out of reach. All I've ever wanted was to be wanted. But I'm not. And so I will purge this land of Strahd van Zarovich. And then perhaps this world can be purged of me after.
Who's to say you were wrong? You know? To be honest, I can't blame you for anything that you've done since we've gotten here. Hell, I may have done the same thing myself if I was in your shoes. Maybe you are redeemed. You know? Maybe not in the Morning Lord's light, but maybe in your own.
If this is what redemption feels like, then I put myself through years of suffering for nothing.
The door
not
opens. Arabelle walks in. Hey, silly billies, you up for a wine party tonight?
Yes, for the love of God.
Well, oh no, I'm not with her. Damn.
Yeah, you're behind with Aragorn. She says, all right, my uncle has brought wine to the town of Crest because he's a hero, and we're just going to have, Teddy promised we're going to have one glass each, and we're going to have fun and tell stories and have just a grand old time. I assume you're all down with that?
Gabe?
Sure.
We're in.
Would I have been able to, like, at this point, start?
Yeah.
I'm
Teddy-
outside. It's snowing, and I'm in a robe and slippers, essentially.
We got furs.
Whew. Well, I didn't think about that. I put fashion first, as always.
Yeah, it's a nice fur.
Okay.
Best fur I've ever put on.
Sluts don't get cold.
That's kind of actually almost sent it to the group before I got here. Yes, Arabelle's uncle is insistent on having a drink with us.
Yeah, I could use one.
Gabe. Seriously, no. Not just a half-hearted, moody shrug. If you're not up for company, then no.
Arabelle, walk with me. Piddlewick, let's go. I'll take them both and leave you two alone.
All right.
Gonna talk about this?
Talk about what?
Oh, I don't know. Anything that we just happened in the last few hours? Gabe?
I'm just not quite sure what you want me to say.
To be honest, I'm not sure I know either. Listen, there was a point back there where it looked really bad. And I don't really know what to say. I'm sorry. First things first, are you okay with, are you okay with skipping this fucking wine schmoozy thing? I don't want to do it. I thought you were going to die. I'm not exactly filled with festive cheer.
I think you said everything that you wanted to say that night in the tower.
Oh,
I'm not angry. I
feel like...
understand.
No, because I feel like you don't, actually. This isn't great. I don't relish having hurt you.
I don't think you
Because
do.
I know that's what happened. Yes, I do. You're many things, but a liar you're absolutely terrible at being. I know that I've hurt you. I know that you built a version of me and what this all meant up in your head, and fine. But I feel like you're using that as a way to sort of justify this feeling of you being punished. And that's not true. That's not what this situation is. This wasn't a cut and dry me rejecting you. This was me, years ago, being put in a position where I had to choose between the livelihoods, the actual lives of me and my family, or love. And I chose their lives. And I hate it, and I wish I hadn't done it. And now I'm stuck, because the person that I was in love with very much so a few years ago I haven't seen. And I think thinks that I'm dead. And I don't know what his deal is. I don't know if he's gone off and gotten married or what. So I don't know what kind of life is waiting for me, if there's any life waiting for me at all once we leave here. But that doesn't negate the feelings, the very real feelings, that I have and continue to have for you, okay? Look, you may have met Richard, and that was sort of what it was for a while, but feelings were mine.
Thank you, I suppose. But it's not your fault that I built you up in my head. Or this situation. It's not your fault that you can't reciprocate what I was looking for. Feelings or not, that's not your fault.
But it's also not yours.
All right.
So stop punishing yourself. Gabe. I know this is a shitty time and way to say this, but I do love you. And I don't like seeing people that I love being hurt. Especially when they're hurting themselves. I know I'm not exactly the most empathetic person in the group, but come on, jeez. You're an amazing person, but if you keep wallowing like this, it's not going to end well. For you, for any of us. You're a stronger person than this.
I'm not trying to have a pity party, Theodore. I have been abandoned. Those wings that you see on my back aren't me brooding. This blade, and I unsheath the sun blade, and it activates with black flame, is not corrupted through my depression. There was a darkness in me. And it is something that I have to stop running from.
I don't believe that. I've seen a real light in you, Gabe. No matter what you think, it's still there. Look, if you don't feel like this, I understand, and I'll respect it, but just take a breather, and then would you like me to spend the night with you? Not in, I don't mean in any sort of, just to be with you. That's all I mean.
Teddy, I'm confused. I thought that this was something you couldn't offer.
I.
Teddy, I've given too many parts of myself. I'm afraid what'll happen if I give one more and it shatters.
I understand. I do love you. Regardless of anything, that is very real to me.
Can I trust you? Can I trust you with the last part of me?
Honestly, I haven't given you much of any reason to trust me. But yes.
I kiss him.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
I don't want to go to the wine thing.
I don't either.
I think that Gabe just embraces Teddy and, in a very unromantic way, begins to sob.
All right, you have this embrace as the only people in the house of the burgomaster of Kresk. Petra, you have left the house in search of Dmitri and his search of Ilya. As you leave, you do see the commotion with the wine, and some of the Vistani, but Dmitri is heading in the opposite direction. Is your goal to try to find him?
My goal is to find Ilya. I have locate creature prepared.
Ooh, cool. Okay. All right, locate creature. So you can just know.
It's 1,000 feet. It lasts up to an hour. I haven't spent a whole lot of time, but I would say that I'm at least passingly familiar.
Yep, for sure.
I can sense the direction of the creature's location as long as that creature is within 1,000 feet. If it's moving, I know the direction.
Small town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, you take a second to cast the spell in the driving snow of the street, and you're led across town, past the sheep pens and past the lumber yards and past a lot of the houses into a dark alley in the back recesses of the village. And there you see in the alley, alone, isolated from anyone else in the village, Dmitri, who has kneeled down and is embracing his son in a hug.
Okay.
Ilya standing there, giving the hug back, burying his head in his father's shoulder.
I quietly observe this, waiting for the moment to kind of pass from the embrace that this is before I quietly give a
Dmitri looks to you, looks to Ilya, and he says, "You're a healer, right?"
I Of sorts, yes.
Can you help him?
I don't know that I could ever fix him to make him be who he was before. I don't know what brought him to this spot. I don't know what it would take to give that part of him back. Perhaps with study and with time, I could, or someone else could. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't want to give you false hope.
He nods in acceptance, and Ilya turns to you, who is a gangly 13-year-old boy, dried blood and the corner of his mouth still, the sheep bone or leg long discarded, not in sight. And he looks at you with a kind of dull-eyed sense of fascination with you. And kind of looks at you. And Dimitri says, Ilya, this woman is here to help you. I know you're sick, and I know your mom is sick in her own way too, and perhaps we can all be together better. And like kind of takes a step away, and you're just now like kind of face to face with Ilya. It's just staring at you.
I look at the boy and I kneel down and get kind of like, I know he's not short, but shorter than I am at 13 years old. And I look in his eyes and I like try to detect like a sense of humanity in them. And I, in this moment, also would like to maybe do, whether you want to call it a arcana or medicine, to kind of suss out if there is like something even remotely known, if it's not something that I have right now, but like if a greater restoration or a something else would be able to bring this boy back in alignment with.
Make a, I'll say medicine.
Okay. It's a 19.
As you're staring into the eyes of Ilya, you realize that the craftsmanship is impeccable. You can barely see the seams of his body that was stitched together. And you know immediately that this isn't even Ilya's natural body. And Ilya is dead. Alive only from foul, detestable necromancy. And there's not much you can do to return him to human form. But you do think that you perhaps could dull his feral undead instincts with perhaps greater restoration, perhaps less restoration, perhaps anything at your disposal. He's kind of an open vessel to whatever interpretation of clerical magic you think will fit.
Yeah, I am kind of two minds on that, and I can talk it out, and I can do both things if you think it would be sufficient to kind of dampen this, because part of, and it's going beyond like what at least one of these spells' intention is. but I do have lesser restoration also prepared.
Okay.
I don't have greater restoration. I would be willing to come back and find this boy and do other stuff later on with when I do have greater restoration. But my first thought is trying lesser restoration to try and like bring back any bit of this. And then in conjunction with that, there's a part of the ceremony spell that is called atonement. And that part speaks to is bringing a character's alignment. And this is an NPC. They don't really have an alignment necessarily like that. And we, as D&D players in this group, really don't use alignment as much of a compass. But it does feel like if I'm trying to set this creature's intentions towards something slightly less feral and more benevolent, that would maybe work. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, so having concrete alignments, set in stone alignments is I don't think is like really relevant.
Right.
But I do love the atonement spell, and I think it does fit. Not alignment change, but kind of like core being or core sense of self. So I think atonement ceremony works well.
Yeah. So I think, yeah. And to be clear, my intention is not to like make this boy all of a sudden be intelligent, be able to speak, just that he would maybe not do harm.
Yes.
Is where I'm seeking to end like this treatment right now.
Cool. All right. So if you cast atonement, you need to make a insight check.
Yes. Which is, I think, one of my highest ones. So
DC 20.
It is a 24.
Wow, easy.
Yeah.
What does it look like when you cast the spell on Ilya?
I stand in front of him and like with gentleness and with calm look into his eyes and place my hands upon him on his shoulders and try and bring him and the consciousness, limited as it is, into focus with my own. And I look into his eyes and I speak to him. Ilya, can you see the light? It's there. Look into it. And my eyes slightly glow. It's him, guiding you, putting you on the path that you're meant to be. He will guide you. You will hear his words, even if you do not always understand them and even if you cannot speak back. Listen to him. He will keep you out of trouble.
His kind of sporadic attention is now firmly on you. And as you speak these words, you see him follow them in a kind of comprehension that you had not seen before. And then he breaks down into tears and hugs you, and then goes to his father and gives him a hug. He says, "Father, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was the one who took the sheep. I was the one who took the sheep." And Dmitri holds him, and they have a silent embrace in this alley. And Dmitri looks to you when it's done and says, "Thank you. I know this is not fixed, whatever that means, but just to hear him say father like this is more than I could have asked for this time. I thank you so much."
I don't know how long this state will last. I will be here in the morning and would be happy to help plead your case. I don't know what you could offer the village, but perhaps taking your family elsewhere from here would appease them and maybe the best thing for him to keep him and everyone else a little bit more safe from the harms he might cause. I will come back. I will check on you. I will bring what knowledge I have. And if I find anyone who is more equipped to help him than I am, I will send them to you.
He is overcome with gratitude. And he looks to you and says, "Thank you. Perhaps we should go back to my house, get a night's rest, and in the morning, if you stay and help on my behalf for even a second, it will be more than I think our family deserves. But you're a guardian angel to us."
I'm not an angel.
And he walks with Ilya arm in arm down the street. Sal, you have ushered two small children out of the room. And as soon as you leave the house, not long after, you run into Aragal, who has 2 bottles of wine. And he says, "Oh, and I recognize this man. What's your name again?"
Sal.
Sal.
Gianucci, yeah.
Gianucci.
You're the man with the wine.
Oh. We had one goal, go to the winery, get some wine, and voila.
Seems like you accomplished quite that.
Yes. Now, I think you and me and all of your friends have...
Yeah, they're coming.
How about we take it inside the house? You got a table. We can, throw a few back and...
I mean, it's not really my house. How many of there are you?
Well, I mean, there's 2 other Vistani, but they're busy with the other. I have these special bottles just for us.
Oh, just you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might want to give them a couple minutes. I don't know. When I left, they were either going to kill each other or fuck. I don't know which one they're doing right now, but we might want to give them a couple minutes to clean up.
Yes. Arabelle, earmuffs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, Arabelle has seen some shit. I'll just say that in the last 12 hours.
Arabelle whispers in your ear, Sal, so that Aragal can't hear, but she says, "He doesn't know that Teddy fucked my dad."
Teddy fucked your dad?
Her eyes go wide, and Aragal goes, "Excuse me, Luvash? Whoa. He did mention Luvash to me earlier."
I may have made a faux pas.
And it's weird that we've made this faux pas before the wine. Would you like a glass? Let's just drink
yeah.
right here.
I'd love one, yeah. Let's drink in the streets.
He pops the cork of this bottle and brings out a couple of glasses from his satchel that he has and pours 2 glasses full of wine. Hands you one. Arabelle doesn't expect one, but Piddlewick looks...
A glass for my boy here.
And he says, "He is a doll."
I mean, he's a living being just like you or I.
Make a persuasion check.
It's my persuasion. 15.
He says, "What the hell? It's a special occasion." He pours a drink for Piddlewick. You see Piddlewick immediately downs the wine.
Wasted
It
wine.
goes And
It's not a waste. He's making good memories.
I mean, yes. The glass empties in Piddlewick's mouth, and you see like drops of wine coming from his bottom, just like onto the ground, just like soaking through. And Aragol cheers you with the glass, and he says, "To good friends."
Even better times.
And then he looks at you and he says, "So, Salvatore Gianucci, that's a strong name. Tell me about yourself. What are you, a magic guy or an adventurer?"
Known to sling a couple spells here and there, yeah.
How'd you come here to Barovia?
To be honest, I have no idea. We actually came with a Vistani feller that I can't quite remember his name right now.
Well, I'm sure it's not important.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Stanimir.
Stanimir.
Yeah. Never heard of him.
No, okay, all right.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of. We're all fated to be here. I don't really. It's kind of all over the place right now.
Classic fated to be here. Let me guess, Madame Ava.
Yeah.
She's quite the seer.
I mean, to be honest, everything she said has pretty much come to pass. So.
And your friends, they're all on the up and up, I suppose.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I think they all deep down want to do the right thing.
That's good to hear. You have to surround yourself with good people, because the second there's someone close to you that's you can't trust, then it's game over for you.
Yeah, that's good advice. Thank you.
And I heard that you had recently had a trip to the castle. That's interesting. How did that go?
It was short, ended in a wedding. But then I think also a funeral kind of. It was all a blur. We kind of left on a skeletal horse. Yeah.
That's a unique tale to tell.
Have you ever been?
You said that like it was like a turn of phrase. We left on a skeletal horse. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you ever been to the castle? Met the devil himself?
Oh no.
All right. Cool.
I'm just curious because I've heard some tales about your group, and you've recently met a woman. She has a wooden leg. Seems capable. How did you meet her?
Woman with a wooden leg. Now Sam would probably remember that, but Eric does not remember.
You think he's definitely referring to Esmeralda?
Oh.
That you met at the tower, the wizard tower, briefly, who helped you fend off the waves of werewolves. Kelsey.
Okay. Yeah. More than capable. Kind of vanished into the night, but yeah.
Do you have any idea where she's going?
No, not. I wish I did.
Huh. No idea.
Why are you looking? You looking for her?
Well, she's a Vistani. Did you know that?
I don't think I did. Yes, I did. Let me check with Gabe. Yep, I did.
Ah, interesting. Well, I'm just trying to keep track of her, and I will warn you, she is a not to be trusted.
Yeah, I would say that. Yep, learn that hard way.
Yes.
Also, don't pin her into a corner. She's there. Yeah, she'll fuck your shit up.
That's good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow we are heading with some more wine. We're gonna take it back to perhaps Valaki or the village of Barovia. You and your friends are welcome to join us. You'll be heroes to these people. The bringer of wine. I will give you a partial credits, even though it was mostly my doing. But I am a generous man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to check with the group, but being a wine delivery man sounds Awesome. So yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right. Should we
You got a
head
place to
back?
stay tonight, or
I just got to town, so no, but is there a place available
there's a
in your house?
ton of hammocks in the burgomaster's place? I mean, you're a nice guy. I think they should be done
Excellent.
by now.
Excellent. Let's head on over there.
Yeah, let's go.
The four of you, head, and Gabe and Teddy, as you're, embracing in this house. The door opens and you see Arabelle come in again. Oh, excuse me. Are you dressed?
I mean,
Yes?
We brought wine.
Oh, it's a wine party. And Aragal comes in. He says, "Hello, everybody. It is a wine party now here in this house. I call dibs on one of the hammocks."
Well, I do have dibs on a hammock, so as long as I get a hammock, we're fine.
We'll hash it out over some wine. And he sits down at the table, and he starts pouring like 6 glasses of wine. And he says, "Don't be shy."
Is that from the winery up north?
The Wizard of Wines. It's a beautiful place.
What I've heard there was problems there and that the wine wasn't able to leave.
Oh, yes. It was briefly besieged by evil druidic monsters, but have no fear. The Vestani are here. And your friend Irina, she is staying with the family that owns the winery. They are good people. I promise that she is in good hands. And I said, while they're rebuilding some of the damage to the winery, I would take it upon myself to be a delivery man of sorts. It is my nature as a Vistani.
He's invited us to come and deliver wines with him. I know we probably got bigger things to do, but
I'm gonna have to inside check, Matthew.
Yep.
he's just a cool guy. Hey, what are you doing?
Don't worry, I believe him. I rolled a 6 plus 3, 9.
Yeah. He's very enthusiastic and he's like really giving you the eyes to like, come on over and drink wine with me.
He knows Esmeralda, the wooden-legged. You remember Esmeralda, right?
yes.
Right.
How does he know that we know her?
You heard about her, right?
Yes, I heard. I mean, your adventurers that have come from outside, your exploits are well known.
Who told you?
I believe it was my brother Luvash.
Have we seen Luvash since meeting Esmeralda? Because I'm pretty sure we met her and then came straight here.
The last you saw of Luvash, he was taking his a couple of Vistani to Beyond the Mists, and he actually said that he would give a message to someone that you know, Teddy.
Yeah.
And that was when you were leaving the Valaki in the Vistani town.
Right.
You met Esmeralda later at the tower.
I'm trying to
Right, so-
remember, didn't the uncle head to Kresk before we even met Luvash? Like,
They were
weren't-
headed here first.
Yeah, like, weren't we going into the Vistani camp as they were leaving and heading north to Kresk?
Correct.
So, so he couldn't have talked to Luvash.
Nope.
He's got wine. He's telling the truth.
When did you last see Luvash?
I haven't seen him in person in a while, but there is ways to communicate.
I'm too tired.
Now, how about some drinking games? Huh?
To be honest, thank you so much. Gabe and I think, need to go to bed.
I'm in.
Sal, you're my man. Piddlewick grabs one of the glasses that was clearly meant for Gabe and pours it in himself again.
Oh, buddy.
You see
He'll
him
be
like
fine.
He's gonna
like
rot
stumbling.
on the inside. He's
He
made
like
of
runs
wood.
into the wall.
It soaks in the wood. He's like a giant barrel. It's gonna age. It's gonna be
What's
great.
interesting is that he knows what being drunk is, though, and he's acting it out. There's a lot of... Pidulk, you're never... A lot of mysteries with you.
I wonder how old he is.
Hmm.
I appreciate the offer, Ergo, but yes, I agree with Teddy. It's been a long day.
Well, please, just one glass. It won't hurt you.
Again,
It's good. It's good
thank
wine.
you so much.
Fine, fine. You are both tired. I get it. That's fine. It's not like I have traveled many, many days with casks of wine to give to the city to bring some life to this dour place. But I guess you can keep contributing to it.
Can I just
You
release? Can I
you
just
guys are
release
being rude.
Can I just release a divine sense?
Yes.
You're being so unchill, Gabe. Which is totally not like you.
I think I'm the definition of
yes.
unchill. So,
Okay, so you know the location of Celestial Fiend or Undead.
yeah.
You see Fiend with Sal, but that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah. It's so weird that I chug a glass of wine.
Oh, okay.
It's so
It's-
bitter. It's so bitter.
It's a sipping wine.
There, I had a glass of wine. Thank you.
Thank you for the offer.
We're gonna go in this
He-
public room.
You want us to put a sheet up?
It wouldn't help. I'm typically very loud if that was going to happen. But...
Like you were with my brother.
I spilled the beans.
I
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
that... That's fine. I wasn't that loud with him.
Damn.
I have a bedroll. Perhaps we could sleep on the floor in the kitchen.
Kitchen.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
We go into the kitchen.
People eat in there.
Yeah, you don't want to sleep in the room with a bunch of beds?
I just want some privacy, Sal, with one other person.
You head to the kitchen. Petra, you and Ilya and Dmitri have made it back to the house, and you open the door to see this Vistani man drinking wine with Sal and Piddlewick at this table. And Dmitri says, "Oh, who are you?" And Erdogal goes, "I am the life of the party. Please come on in and grab a drink."
Sal invited him.
All right. Yes, I did.
No.
No, Sal invited him.
Thank you.
I see you found the boy. That's good.
Yes. I don't know that tonight is a night for wine.
It's what we've been
That's
trying
what
to
we've
say.
been saying.
I should be dead right now. I don't know if you guys
That's
realize
true.
that.
I mean, there are reasons for you to celebrate.
That's
Sal,
fair, but if we were
you-
supposed to be drinking every time one of us almost died, we would never get anything done.
It's also true.
Suit yourselves.
Dmitri says, I think my son and I are going to be excused to sleep,
Yes.
but feel free to make use of the space in any way you want. And he heads out. And Erdogal says, "Wow, this is a bunch of Debbie Downers here.
Yeah, you came on a kind of off night, I think.
All right.
Lots happened today. A lot of big things. I probably shouldn't have invited you here, but fuck it, I did. So let's tie one off, man.
All right.
Stuck with you now.
He hands you a glass of wine. Petra, what are you doing right now?
Petra will have one glass of wine,
Yeah, Petra.
toast to Sal. I'm glad you're still here.
Thank you. Me too.
Me too.
I don't mean to be dour and
Yes.
Thank you.
I am going to collect my thoughts. I intend to speak for the burgomaster and his wife tomorrow before we leave.
I like squeeze Richard's hand, and I like give like a notice of like a nod of like I'll be right back. And I ask Petra if I can speak with her outside.
Yes.
As they leave, I will just tell Gabe I'm gonna go get the bed ready.
Yes.
Then I will walk over and I will.
You're gonna set up in the kitchen.
Yes. But I will go over and
Freaks.
give Sal a quick hug. Seriously, I'm very happy that you're not dead.
Richard, as you head to the kitchen, Arabelle follows, and she says,
Yes, dear.
Just really quick, is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes, we have some time. Yes, what's up?
She says, okay, sit down.
Okay.
Okay. She pulls out of her pack a deck of Taroka cards and spreads it in front of her. Petra, can you make an insight check?
Yeah. Insight the child.
I'm Adam.
You're Adam?
I'm Adam.
Oh
Takes off his
no!
mask.
Not Adam. I understand now. Christ. It's a 21. That's the roll.
This wine that you're drinking does not taste normal.
I fucking knew it.
I've had like 4 glasses.
You're always having shit you shouldn't have, so.
Damn it.
Yeah, something's off.
What spell slots do I have?
Matt's gonna kill me for real now. Matt's gonna make amends.
He
on last session.
regrets not killing you before.
Petra, is everything alright? I just want to talk to you outside for a moment.
Sorry, I just. Okay, I've got enough second level spell slots to. I cast Lesser Restoration on myself real quick, trying to see if that like purges the thing, the whatever is happening to us.
You don't know of its effectiveness.
Yeah.
But if there was poison, it would be gone. You don't feel different, but
There's something in the wine.
I knew that there was something wrong.
Knowing that Sal has had the most wine, I will use my remaining spell slot to cast Lesser Restoration on him, and then turn towards the fake uncle, the Funkle. Now, what have you done?
What?
Can I hear this?
I take out my sword and I activate the blade and I yell, Teddy!
Yes,
um,
dear.
What the hell's going on? Somebody want to fill me in?
as you yell that's Teddy, you are sitting here with Arabelle, and she spreads the cards in front of you, and she opens or flips over one of the cards, and you can see it is the card of the Tempter.
What the fuck?
A card of a woman hiding her face behind a fan that has splots of blood on it. And she says, okay, just close your eyes. I've been wanting to show you this for a long time, Teddy. I've never felt this before. It's kind of scary, but I think you should see.
Okay.
This is not good.
Your vision swirls with surprising clarity as you see you are inside of a tent And this tent has a table set up with a large crystal ball and tarot cards set up. There's flickering candlelight in the corners. And you see a hooded woman sitting on the other side. But this is not Madame Ava. This is Arabelle. She's middle-aged, but it is obviously her. She has the same smile and demeanor as the 8-year-old girl that you know. And you see, sitting on the other side of this table, across from Arabelle, is you, but older. You see wrinkles in your face, some streaks of gray in your hair, but you're surprised at how good looking you are in your old age.
I'm not surprised.
And you see Arabelle across from this table, the middle-aged one, says, "This is kind of exciting for me. I've always wanted to be like Madame Ava. I have to think about this. It's a lot of responsibility, but I think you should also see this, Teddy." And she sees or spreads her hands, and the scene changes. And now you are standing outside on the parapets of a castle. Your castle. As you look down over the lands of Barovia. Your lands of Barovia. You look around, you see to your side your confidants. You see Escher. You see Cyrus Bellevue. And you see this man standing next to you with a look of loving embrace in his eyes.
Oh no! No!
That's where we're going to stop.
Damn
tonight's
it!
Episode.
Yeah.
Thank you all for playing.
What?
It had been a while, so
What's
that was
in the wine?
What's in the wine?
What's in the wine?
Who the fuck is this guy?
It's
Oh man.
I mean, I think
that
I know
was-
who it is.
Everyone, we will find out.
Why does he have the same last name as
perhaps,
Achilles?
in 2 weeks? Thank you guys for playing. That was a lot of fun. It was a kind of fun, consequence-filled episode from the craziness of the last time. And next time we will find out even more consequences of your late night wine party and fortune card reading.
just
Sweet.
can't have one easy day.
I know.
There's no easy days.
We
in
have a day
Barovia.
off.
Yeah,
We have
also,
a day
can we
off.
get a fucking long rest in between this shit? Like, can we
Seriously,
ever get a long
seriously,
rest without it being
No,
a problem?
Oh man, I love the feeling of like we need a long rest. Is this a combat encounter? Shit.
Thanks,
cool.
Matt.
All right. And since I already expertly did the announcements up top with no flubs or faults, I think we can safely call it an episode there. And as always, everyone say prayers up.
Prayers up.
There's
Prayers up.